Welcome to another Pinche podcast.
Welcome to another Pinche podcast. This is Lobo, and I have a special guest today. Introduce yourself.
So my name's Andy, and I do stage media.
Nice. And you're out of where?
I'm out of Phoenix.
Phoenix, Arizona. Well, how you been doing? How's everything been out there right now since the Super Show?
It's been good. Just been doing cruises and everything else, and it's been hella dope.
Everybody's still just on Glendale. Where's the main spots out there right now?
They're doing. They got different spots going on. They got Lowrider Fridays this weekend,
Uh huh.
and then they got a food truck event.
Nice. The so you're a photographer, and we've networked already and stuff like that. Coming out of the Arizona, the you had two big shows. How was that for you? There, so far this year there was two big major shows.
It was good. It was really good. Just seeing everybody working. It was a lot of cars, a lot of people, good people to meet.
And then it takes a lot of time to get that content right.
Oh yeah.
The when you're working out the shows, what is your first priority when you're out there taking pictures?
Just to network with everybody, see what everybody's up to, make sure everybody's good.
Hmm.
It's like a big family reunion. We're all helping each other out.
Yeah, I know. It's like, yeah, like I said, you're in Arizona, and I go out there. I went out there twice this year so far, and you run into everybody from all over the place, and it's pretty cool. I mean, you've traveled a little bit, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been to Portland, to Albuquerque, to Vegas, uh, California. Supposed to go back. I'm supposed to go back for the Tavares show.
Yeah, that's gonna be a big show. The hop's big over there. He's doing a $10,000 payout for the hop, so that's always big. It took like I think 2 hours last year. It was a long hop, and then I was there by myself. So I remember I tried to do the whole show, and then I had to stop and do the hop, and then I had to go back and finish the whole show, and that's just video. That wasn't
Yeah,
even pictures, bro. I do both too, so it's hard. The You haven't been to the Tavares yet?
no, never been. I've always wanted to go. Um, just seeing all the love and everybody, and
Yeah,
Torres and you and
yeah,
CJ and all of them. I mean, just seeing you guys post your content, it's always dope.
yeah. It's all outdoors. It's at the municipal airport, so it's all blacktop,
Yeah,
like a parking lot. And but he brings in custom semi trucks. He brings in wrestling, boxing, sneakers show. He's gonna do a $10,000 hop. It's probably gonna be the biggest hop until Vegas.
yeah.
So I don't even think Vegas gives that type of money. That
Vegas, man, it'd be cracking.
Yeah, but yeah, Vegas be cracking because you get everybody when you do Vegas. But yeah, but I still don't think I don't think they give out that much money for a hop. And that's
No.
what the Tavares show is. Um, what else? What else? What else? What other? You say you've been to? Well, I keep telling you. I've been telling everybody. Come to King of the Streets on August 17th.
Talking about Vegas, I've been wanting to go again.
Yeah. The I've been already looking at the rooms. They put a matter of fact, Lowrider magazine put up their link for the Westgate for the rooms over there. Um, for their, they get a package deal or whatever because you go through them, I guess. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm trying to book my stuff by the end of June. I should have my hotel booked for Vegas. I'm still waiting to get back for them about my media access and everything else like that. So
Yeah,
um, with that, have you see? You did the hop. You did the hop for Arizona Super Show, the last big show that they had. I wasn't able to stay for that. How was that?
For the high class one.
Yeah, the high class one.
Yeah, it was good. It was hella dope. It was just a lot of cars, a lot of people. It was hot. It was hot that day.
Yeah, I was kind of like, okay, well, I don't think I missed too much.
Crazy
uh
fact, one of my they were I was waiting for them to lift off
huh.
and my drone almost got hit.
Oh shit, flying too low.
Yeah. It was trying to take off and then they took off and they blasted off, so I had to get it out the way before it got hit.
Oh wow. Well, good thing it didn't. Well, that would have been all over social media if it did.
Yeah. Should have been like, oh, photographers, drone, charge it to the
Wow.
game.
Yep, exactly. The what was I gonna say? Oh, speaking of drones, yeah, at Tavares you can't have a drone over there because it's an airport. Just FYI.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The what do you call it? So we talk about as photographers in this lowrider lifestyle and stuff like that. What for yourself as a photographer? What is one of your main goals? What is it to capture out there? What are you trying to convey to your audience?
More or less like the details of the cars. I mean, just just content of like because I mean, you taking like years.
Mhm.
People take years to put their cars together. Like
Yeah,
it's not easy. Um, like case in point, I haven't printed up this frame yet. I haven't got this framed yet, but got this one right here.
yeah,
I mean, the years and years and struggles that they go to showcase the vehicles. I mean, looking at the shows, to
yeah,
me, it's like when I look at the content that's going out now, it's
mhm,
like to see the people, to see people shining in their own light,
yeah,
like the Peterson Auto Museum. I
yeah,
really want to go, but I mean, you and I've been around for a long time. I mean,
yeah,
it's just like it's for us. It's dope to see like Double Trouble,
mhm,
Glock 9, a lot of them big ones that are in the Auto Museum because I want to go,
yeah.
but I
Gypsy
know
Rose.
it's a showcase.
I still never seen Gypsy Rose up close and personal in
Yeah,
real. But yeah, it seems like it's something I want to do too, but I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get out there, but I don't know. I mean, it's for the lifestyle and for what we do. That's like a goal too. Is like ended up or what put our one of our pictures that end up in that museum or something like that.
yeah,
That's something too to look forward to eventually. They're gonna. It's just for me. I'm like, I was supposed to go out there for single to mile for LA Times. I didn't, and kind of thank goodness I didn't because I was in the big debate, but then something happened. They canceled it or they changed the cops changed everything, and I would have been out at Shit Creek because I would have been all the way out to LA, and I was gonna fly out there too, so I would have been stuck.
man, you'd have been stuck, huh?
Mhm. But oh, right here, what's it? There's the poster you gave me. That's a shot.
I always see that. And I appreciate the love, man.
Yeah, yeah. So that poster right there, it's on my wall. Andy took that picture. That was at one of Frank's hops. What a few years back? What I think maybe. Shit. I don't even know what year was that. Probably was it the year after COVID or the year before? I
It
think
was
it was
like
the same year of
two
COVID.
years before COVID.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, the I had to send that back. Oh yeah, it was like 2 years before COVID because I remember too. I had to send it back with a friend because I was on a plane.
Yeah,
My friend brought it back for me because they drove. So yeah. The so when you're out there shooting, doing your photography and stuff like that, and sometimes I've seen now you have different models and then you're out there, trying to get everything. Um, do you is it more fun for you to just be out there at the shows or the cruises? Is it easier? Um, how do you see like how everything's going on with the controversy about the models and where they dress and stuff like that? Where's your responsibility in that, if there's any?
As far as like the models, I mean, if you're talking or like the whole controversy and whatnot,
Mm,
for me, as far as like work and stuff, like as far as model wise,
mm-hmm.
I mean, literally my whole house is full of models and whatnot.
Yeah,
Like, why? To me, I look at it as though like, why are we trying to change their outfits? Are we
yeah,
like, because like if they're gonna be wearing cute tops or bikini tops or whatnot, and I was talking with somebody because like their outfits are anywhere from $5 on up to like 2 grand,
yeah,
and it's like we're gonna control that. Well, I mean, it's to me, it seems like dumb, but it's. I mean, you gotta change, and I learned like work, especially like because I work at Walmart. I mean, you have to learn how to change with the time, but at
mm-hmm.
the same time, why the way I look at it is like, why are we trying to change it now? Like it's been around for years. You want to talk about like not changing this and whatnot, but like you go way back to like even the lowrider culture of the art.
Yeah,
I mean, the it's been painted on numerous vehicles to
yeah.
where they were wearing almost like
Nothing, topless,
nothing
naked,
topless. Yeah,
like tattoos, right? It's like
yeah.
it's been art, and people are conveying, how they feel or how they like, um what the women look like on the in the murals and everything else. And yeah, that's, I mean, what's next? You gonna disqualify a car because he has, there's nipples on the mural? You know what I mean? Like the with the series that I did when I talked with the models prior to this, a lot of it just comes down to is respect, responsibility, and what your comfort zone is. But the
Hmm.
but trying to regulate what they're wearing has nothing to do with actual models. What it does is because somebody was talking shit about somebody else, and then now that specific promoter has to also watch what happens at his events because he was already talking shit about somebody else's events. So
Hmm.
now you have two different promoters because one promoter got kind of put pressured and was under a spotlight. So then they start saying we can't have you doing this, and everybody's kind of at a loss because neither one of them have the guts to really explain what's going on. Obviously, the one that's talking shit doesn't have no backbone on it because they can't prove anything, and then another person because they're being looked at, by a corporate and everything else like that, that they have to change things because they were being scrutinized. So the thing is that some of the photographers and some of the models not understand what's going on, and that's exactly what's going on. They're
Hmm.
using, if they want to talk about exploiting the models, they're exploiting the models to try to ruin someone else's thing, and the models are the innocent bystanders in all this because it really has nothing to do with respecting the models. It has nothing to do with respecting women. It has absolutely nothing to do with the way um, exploitation. It has nothing to do with it. They're exploiting the concept of the half naked models and trying to use that to, throw dirt on a different promoter. And the funny thing is that person is just actually taking sides with someone else that's talking out of their head. And
Hmm.
so it became this big old thing. And, that's what's going on right now because someone's putting a foot in because they're showing now people are starting to post footage from the shows from last year where you got models they were hired by the freaking promoter, you know. you know
Hmm.
so
Yeah.
it's just being a hypocrite and a crybaby, and you don't, it just tells people when when people don't have anything valid to say that it really actually makes sense, or they don't want to say the truth about what's really going on. They start throwing these low blows and these bullshit allegations and lies, and then now they're gonna look even more stupid because people like me honestly are like, look, dude, if you're gonna complain about someone being a bad business partner or something like that, that's one thing, but start throwing out other things that are just random. um that's pretty sad. You know what I mean? And it's pretty pathetic, and they're causing a lot of problems, but they're actually setting themselves up for failure because they're causing a lot of problems for themselves because of it too. Because now you
Hmm.
back up what you're talking about.
Yep.
So just in general, it really has nothing to do with the way the models dress, and it has
No.
absolutely nothing to do with that. So that's what sucks because the models are being a freaking innocent bystander and they're just like, what the hell did I do? I've been doing this for years. And it's true. What did they do? Nothing. Okay. They're just the victim in the whole situation because if you want to go after them for the way they dress, then you're going to start going after these cars that are having murals of naked women, topless women, all this other stuff. And then what are you going to do? Disqualify them from winning your show because you're it's subjugating women. I mean, you got to think about it like that. And yes, everybody has their opinion and everything like that. But at the same time, another model had said this, and her episode hasn't premiered yet. But it was, if it's about being feminist is being able to for women to do whatever the hell they want.
Hmm.
So nobody's nobody's doing it. It's confusing for. Fortunately, I know some people behind the scenes, and then I also have talked directly to a couple of the people that are involved. So it's like, wow, like it's gotten out of hand, and this is all falls on everybody else, and that's why they're pushing the issue with media passes, and they're pushing the issue with the way the models are dressed and stuff like that. So we're all in the crossfire of some other bullshit. That's really what it is, bro.
That's the way when I look at it, like with as far as like Crossfire. I mean, they want to blast them, they might as well blast us because we're the one out there working with the model and promoting them. I mean, and I've always told the models that I worked with, hey, they're like, well, what do we got to wear? I said, wear whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
If you're comfortable wearing just a Q top and then short shorts, that's cool. But if you want to go do full on bikini or like some other crap like that, like wear it, flaunt it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them, they don't realize that it took them years for this competence level to be up there. I mean, we look at like, for instance, the model that you've done a podcast with. I mean, when she first started, she had 1,000 followers.
Yeah.
Now she's over 104. I
Yeah.
mean, I've seen you work numerous times with the person in the back on your print. I mean,
Yeah.
I we've all respected each other, and like it's been nothing but good times. I mean, we get so busy. Like you and I have had a conversation and sat down and just chopped it up. I mean,
Well, it was.
we're going.
Yeah, it's the thing is that we network, we talk, we see what's going on, and sometimes I'm like, as a photographer, we're really busy,
Mhm.
and when one of the things, and some people don't understand this, but it's hard to be personable at an event because we're focused on capturing this event, and the thing is the event's once a year, one day, and we only got like 5 hours
Mhm.
do everything we do. And it's hard. Like a lot of times I got to catch up with people after the fact. I got to talk to people. I'm messaging people. People are like, hey, it was good to see you. And then it's like, oh, yeah, my bad if I, whatever. But people don't realize that. It's like I'm in the zone. I'm not, I'm not really out there to just socialize, but I am approachable. It just, come say hi and stuff like that. It's just at the end of the day, as a photographer, people always wonder why we're not like engaging a lot of times with other people, but we're just focused on, especially when it's a major show that only comes once a year. Like if we
Mhm.
go to a cruise every weekend, of course you're going to socialize because we're there every weekend, right? Your
Yeah.
local cruise and your local event, you're going to be around your peers and people in the same city. But it's hard sometimes because people think like we're being rude or anything like that. But it's just we're just in the moment, and that moment is like that. We don't get no let's do over.
Yeah. Even the videos that you got to do. I mean, I've seen photographers that I worked with. I mean, tell people get out the way because it's a one time thing. You cannot get it back, even if you tried. If you wanted to recreate it, it's twice as hard.
Yeah. It is. Well, I mean, the thing is we have to also realize that if you're out there in a big, busy event, you people, the people in the in the photography, in the photos, also convey a good event. They don't realize that just because you're trying to take a picture of a model and there's people all in it because you don't want to edit it or make a poster out of it. The hard realization is that those pictures, regardless, are going to sell the event the next year. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, people are going to see your photos regardless if they follow me or they only follow you or anybody else, or they're looking at the model and they don't, what they see is sometimes they see the people in the background and go, "Oh, this looks like a good event. I should travel there next year, or I should
Yeah.
go there to be. I've heard so much about it and it looks like there's all kinds of people there." Sometimes that's what the promoters love about what we do and why we get access to these shows, is because we our content helps promote that their show was a successful show. And that's how, like, sometimes I get invited to other events outside of wherever I've been, and I go right away and go look on YouTube to see how the event looked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I look at it. I go and sit there and I'll sit there and go, I'll look at the video and stuff, and I'm like, and sometimes I'm even asking questions in the comments. What time was this when you were walking through? Because I do understand some people walk through like before the event opens or something like that, and there's nobody there.
Hmm.
So that is like, okay, the cars or the event looks good, or the setup looks good, but is there people there? And I think that that's something that us photographers and stuff like that, we have to convey, like, is there an audience? And we want the promoters to see that we're helping them get more people there.
Yeah.
You got all that stuff up there. Is that's all from you, or
That's all for me.
nice?
This is
The
literally that way, and it goes all the way around my whole house.
nice. They want to do my, so behind me I'm in my garage, and I've debated because I'm kind of picky about what I want on my wall, and what you got on my wall. But the uh I'm waiting for I had a woodcut done. Unique cuts.
Yeah, he's
Yeah. I had a woodcut done, so I should be getting it, I think, tomorrow. And I'm gonna find a place to put it so it's like right here behind me. I might have to move some pictures around. I think I'm gonna put LED lights on behind it, so
hell
uh
yeah.
lights up or something. But yeah, I'm like, I'm waiting for that for the podcast. And I've been contemplating on how I want to deal with things with the podcast and everything. I've been wanting to work on one and getting consistent, and I've been almost filming every day, a podcast. And with this one, and the reason why I have you on, because you're a content creator, you're a photographer, and then right now this is where, this series is gonna, highlight, what you do, what we all do, what we have to do, what we go through, because I think it's sometimes people just think it's like no big deal, and it is a big deal because it's a lot of work.
Hmm.
It's a lot of work. And so when you prepare for a day, when you're doing to do a lot of shoots and stuff like that, um what are the main things that you have to set up for that?
First of all, you like your mind. You got to
Hmm.
make sure your mind's right. You got to make sure, like, even if you're going through stuff. I mean, because they like, as far as photographers, they think, oh, we have a perfect life, and we don't. There are some times that we get bad news right in the middle of something, and we just have to act like there's though nothing's going on. I mean, it's almost like you have to live a pretend life right in front of people, but at the same time, you have. I learned through the years that no matter what happens, I'm still in control of what's going on. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like, to get ready for it is like getting up in the morning. I mean, whether you drink an energy drink or a coffee, you got to get that to get up, get your mind right.
Mm.
Um, I mean, even throughout the years that I've worked with the models, I still get butterflies. Like, I still get nervous. I still get,
Yeah.
did I capture everything? Did I do all this? And like we were talking about it with, like, as far as edits and stuff, those edits aren't easy sometimes.
Yeah.
You got an edit, it can take you 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You've also got an edit can take you anywhere from 2 to 3 hours, and then you don't like it, and you have to start all over again.
Yeah.
So, um, like getting the batteries ready, getting everything ready. Um, as far as like show wise, it you have to make sure like if you're bringing in models, because I brought I think 5 or 6 this year.
Mhm.
You got to make sure that their bands are ready. Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, the worst thing you can do is have them standing out there in the middle of nowhere with their makeup on, and
Especially in Arizona.
especially in Arizona where it's 115, 120-degree heat. I mean, even in February, March is still hot.
Yeah.
But I mean, preparing for those days is
Mhm.
is, is sometimes a struggle. Sometimes it can get you to the point where you just want to lash out, but you're like, okay, so well, once you get past all that, is work,
Yeah.
and it's like I've always told like we were talking about it, like the hardest working people in the show is either the photographer or videographer, because after everything's done, all the cars are put away, all the outfits are put
Still
washed
work.
and hung up, everything. They get a life. We don't.
Mhm.
We spend anywhere from 2 days on up to like 4 or 5, 6 months trying to get those photos out. I mean, just constantly. Is
It's
it? It's more work than anything. I
the
mean,
do you find yourself staring at the computer and it just burns you out tired, like your eyes, everything just like trying to get things done, and you're just like, "Oh, yeah, I can't. I gotta stop. I gotta walk away."
yeah.
That happens is like I'm like in the midst of something, or I'm pushing myself to get edited, get some edits out, and I'm just like, dude, I'm too tired. I can't even see the damn screen right because and I'm like, I gotta just go to sleep. I'm gonna go to sleep. You
Then when
know?
you go to sleep, you're still thinking like, oh, I should do this. I should have done this edit. I
Mm-hmm.
should have done that photo. I mean, like for me, as far as like just getting edits, and
Yeah,
then the struggle is like because I work at Walmart, working 9 to 5, I
yeah,
got to find time to get those edits out, and then go once another show hits up. So I
yeah,
try to do that plus videos.
yeah,
I mean, when we all look at it, like 'cause most of us are our own business owners,
yeah.
so we're running 7, 8 different people's jobs in
Oh yeah,
one person,
oh yeah, yeah.
and
You gotta create a certain flow about how you
hmm
do your work. You got to give yourself a time frame, and then you have to deal with everything that gets in the way of that.
hmm
And even sometimes I'm in a hurry to get home. Or sometimes I'll say, okay, well, instead of just going straight home from an event, I'll just get a hotel after the event, so then I don't have to go straight home, but I can go straight to editing. So it's either go home right away or go straight to editing after. And then sometimes I don't even do that because I'm just tired. I'm like, I'm just gonna wait till I get home.
yep, and
But
it's always fun. It's always good.
yeah.
Um, I mean, even at the shows, it's good to meet new people. I mean, like like I said, we've had our conversation, and we just had a heart to heart. I mean, to me, when I was looking at like role models, was you, CJ, PL Picks,
Mhm.
Custom Fitted, like all of these dope photographers. I was trying to be like. I'm still trying to be like them and learning
Mm.
the new eras, like the new way to shoot, the new way to do things. Because I mean, let's be honest, we're all still learning.
Yeah.
No matter what we do, no matter how many times you got that shot, no matter how many times you get this different thing, there's always a new item, a new look to what you can see.
Yeah. And we bring other things to the table. Like I've yet to try to use a drone. I have not done it. People ask me why don't I get one. I said, I don't have the time. But then again, I'm like, well, maybe if I want to sit down and maybe do something, but I don't know. I'm gonna see. I might have to make, well, not make, but I'm trying to decide if my son wants to start doing drone stuff. But then maybe I'll invest in one. But at the same time, it's like I see you and other people they bust out with the drones, and I've yet to get one because it's always that means I got to stop what I'm doing and I got to learn how to do that. You know, I'm like, okay, time to stop and then do something a little different. But
Hmm.
I'm not in no hurry. I'm like, you know what? I'll let the people that have drones get the drone footage. I mean, sometimes it's kind of like that, you know, like let let them get that picture. I don't need to do everything everybody's doing. This person's good at drone footage. This person's good on a gimbal. This person's a photographer. This person that, and you know, sometimes you can't put all of that together. You don't have to. You just
Yeah.
figure out what flows for you. It, and that's really what it comes down to. It's the way you flow with your getting your content. And I think that the hardest part is working on how you edit, because that's the time where we could sit there and go, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. And later becomes days and weeks later, and you get busy. Something else comes up, a new show,
Hmm.
gotta work, get overtime. I can't even get into the gym because every time I start doing the gym, then I start doing doubles at work and shit like that. And then I'm too tired to do any of that stuff.
Yeah. I do the same way because we work at Walmart. And is it hard? Yeah. It's literally some days I come home and I don't want to do an edit. I don't want to do a video. I don't want to look at nothing. There are days where I've literally told my dude, I said, so two, because I had to switch it because of an event. But
Mhm.
there are days that I just take Tuesday off and just literally just veg out, just do
Yeah.
nothing. And I learned
You should do that though. That's self-care.
because I was like for a long time, for the 9 years that I was doing photography, I was like, go, 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 go. And I was getting worn out. And I was like, wait, hold on. What am I really doing? Why am I
Yeah.
doing this? Like,
Yeah.
um, as like going back to the whole motto and respect. I mean, they there's majority of them support each other. And I love seeing that. I love
Mhm.
seeing that they support each other. Like, yo, we got baddie alert. We got that fire's dope. I mean,
Yeah.
like sharing their content, and that's what it's all about. I mean, because photographers and models, we create art with the car
Yeah.
because you have to capture the. Is it easy being a photographer? No. You have to twist your body in different ways that you don't want to go. You got to make sure that the angle is right.
Yep.
Um, you're fighting hunger. I mean, because sometimes at shows we got, like you said, we got 5 hours.
And we got time. We don't got time to stand as a line. You know
No.
what I mean? Like if you don't eat something in the very beginning and hope that you feel okay the rest of the day, if you stop to get something to eat, that line is 20 minutes long. And
Hmm.
like we're in a 5 hour event once a year. There is no fucking redos. There is no nothing. We're sitting in line trying to get some food, and you're hearing like, you know, a crowd behind or a hop, or someone starts hopping their car or something. Well, we want to be there and go, shit, I'm missing this content right now.
Hmm.
Sometimes though, if you feel like, you know, you're gonna have to, you have to go and take care of yourself and eat, and you're gonna miss a couple things. And that's the thing, we beat ourselves up because what were you doing when they started battling in at the show with two guys with two hoppers? Oh well, I was in line trying to get food.
Hmm.
You know, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah, because like as far like that video that went viral with Justin from Santa Maria,
mm,
where they leaked gas on the floor, and I was standing right there.
yeah,
But I was more worried about like trying to get that fire out than I was trying to get the video. I mean, the video
yeah,
was dope. I mean, don't get me wrong, the video stuff, that's like we've always said, charge it to the game. I mean,
mm,
there's many different instances where cars are broke. I mean, but it's all part of the game.
yeah.
And like the risk that we as photographers in the hop realm have gotten was like, okay, so how close is close enough?
Oh, obviously not, because people be standing right on top of the cars and they ain't even the official photographers. They're the groupies.
And that's where like we, I mean, because as far as like with the models and them, I like amateurs, I've always told them you have to get in the back. You have to stand in the back because once that thing rears up,
Yeah.
it rears up fast and it runs.
But the I don't think it isn't until someone's in the hot pit and something completely like catastrophic, you know, breaks, and they see
Mhm.
it fly off the car, whether it, we don't want no one getting hurt, but it's until you see those things that people start realizing you can't be all up on the car. I mean, most of the time nothing happens, but I mean, I've seen a video, and I've never seen it happen in person, but I've seen a whole cylinders get launched out through the hood, and then they're like down at the parking lot
Mhm.
because it completely freaking blew out. But things like that happen, and it was funny because my son on last Saturday, asked me, he said, "What's the craziest thing you've ever seen at a lowrider show?" And I said, "Well, I'm not seen it in person, but there's a video on YouTube. It's from a lowrider magazine show when the rim flew off a truck and hit a guy right in the face. It's I've seen it before, but literally the rim popped off and smacked dude right in the jaw and took him out, like knocked him out like to the ground.
But
It's an old video. It's like it happened like in the late 90s or something. But point being is, um, like that's the most. And I mean, there's worse things that have happened at a hop, but people don't understand that. Like that. That's why they really tell people to stay back and everything else like that. Like that's why I shoot with a wide angle when I'm at the hop, because
mhm.
there's no point. Even having a zoom lens at the hop, that doesn't really benefit you because they start crowding the cars.
Mhm.
So you have to get wide and you have to get low, and I think one of the biggest things I had the privilege of networking with other people at a hop, and I realized I was getting in the way, and then so I realized that my goal is to get what I need but stay out of the way. And that's a respect amongst all the photographers, because yeah, sometimes them hot pits don't got no room for us, but
Nope.
but there's
Nope.
like 70, 80 people in there, and it's ridiculous.
Which is why I kind of just started up with the drone, because I was like you were saying, getting tired of like getting in everybody's way. So I just completely, not in all instances, but I took myself out.
Yeah.
Like, I want to get the footage, but I don't. I mean, and then sometimes you're out in the heat and you don't want to stand there all day, and you don't want
Yeah.
to have to do this. And
Gotta find a shady spot with the drone.
yeah, you can just find it like I did with the high class hop. I mean, it just sat in the, the area there and just cover the drone. I mean, is it? There's a lot, like you said, there's a lot of sacrifices that we have to do. I mean,
Yeah.
whereas far as like eating or like staying up on your water, because when I'm walking through the events, people are like, "Hey, you need a water? Hey, you need a soda? Hey, you want this? Hey," which is cool. I really enjoy that. I mean, I've had somebody come up to me like, "Hey, here's something to eat
Yeah.
while you're working." I mean,
Oh yeah.
I appreciate that.
Luckily, yeah. Luckily, yeah. I mean, in the right situation, they're like, "Come eat. Here's food. Here's this. Drink water. All this stuff." And we're forgetting that we need to do that. And I think, and then it's like, then it's like, do we want to drink water? Because I'm gonna have to go to the damn bathroom.
Yeah.
Like, but it's like, damn, like you gotta pick and choose your battles, and then it's like, okay, let's take a break. Like that's the whole thing. It just depends, especially if I think it's hard. The hardest to gauge an event is the first time you're there. So if you come from out of town, you're like, what am I gonna miss? And see, this is one of the reasons why too I want to bring other photographers together and content creators so we network. What I
Hmm.
ask you, I changed my flight, you know, because I wanted to go to Glendale. I said, so we went to Arizona Super Show that was at the Cardinal
Stadium.
Stadium, and then I was initially going to be there for the whole weekend, and then I changed it to just one day. And then I'm like, oh, I need that. I need that cruising footage. I need that action. So then I was like, okay, let me see. What do you think? And then I hit you up. Is Glendale going to be cracking? You're like, hell yeah, da 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 da. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I changed my flight, and I got a room. Actually, I stayed with one of my friends. Dude, I only slept for an hour that night. When I left
Mm.
Glendale, I don't know if I told you this, but I flew in that morning, went directly from the airport to the Arizona Super Show. Got in, did my thing all day. We went to go eat after. I met up one of my buddies. Went to go eat. Ended up at the cruise, and then that's why I hit you up. I'm like, I need a place to stash my shit. And then I didn't have a car, and we didn't go back to his pad. And then, so then I put my stuff in your car, and then we got to work at the cruise. Got my stuff. I Ubered to my boy's pad because he gave me the keys. Says you stay in the extra room. I slept for like an hour, got up and went back to the airport and flew home. And I was like, damn, like, and I was like, damn, I gotta edit and everything else like that too. But I went to work that day. I had to go to. The reason why I flew home in the morning, and then somebody had called out, and they called me in to cover a shift. And I did a double shift that day too on a Sunday.
Yeah, that's usually the struggles that we have. I mean, like we did one time we did Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I had just finished up everything. I had
Yeah,
just got, and then I when I finished, my boss called me. I need you in to work.
Oh shit.
So it's like, so I had to drive 6 hours home.
Yeah.
I got about maybe 2 to 3 hours sleep, went right back to work, and my brother was telling me, "How do you do this?" I mean, and I told him, I said, "It's the love.
Yeah.
It's knowing that, like, whether it's 5 minutes, whether it's 2 hours, whether it's a half a day. I mean, we get to spend that time with each other. I mean, because we're all miles apart, but when we come together, look, one thing that I really like about it is that lowriding has brought many different cultures. I mean, you got Hispanics. I mean, there for a minute that they were saying that low riding is all Hispanics. I'm like, where are you reading your stuff from?
It's
Because
not.
I've been anywhere from like Dallas to like all these other places. I mean, you got Tongans, you got Polynesians, you got, I mean, Japan's out there getting good, big at it. Um, like natives are big in that.
Yep.
Hispanics, whites, blacks. I mean, it's a melting pot now. You can't just say that low riding is just one culture.
Yeah. Exactly. There was Resume used to do a show at the casino out here, and it was it was one of the best shows. Excuse me. I hope that it eventually one day they bring it back. And they had their own car club. It's Resume. Did you ever hear about that when they were doing that?
No, oh yeah, I did. I was wondering when it was going to bring it back.
I don't know. It went ever since COVID. They never brought it back, and then I think the year before that was like their 10-year anniversary, and it rained. It's hot as hell. Like honestly, it where they have it at, it pretty much will match any of your hot Arizona days randomly. And like there's days when we went. There was a couple years when we went out there, and like the day before it was pouring rain. Next day, hot as hell. So like where
Yeah.
it's played, where they have it at, where the casino and stuff that they have it at, the weather is just a trip. But then they had to move it around a couple times too because it was like crazy hot and it's all outdoor.
Mm-mm.
So that's why it's just it's a tricky weather situation. But you know, like you said, different people from different backgrounds, low riding, we're with it. Like the more the merrier. And some people will cry about it, and some people will cry about low riding in Japan and stuff like that. But dude, there's low riders in Australia, Germany, obviously Japan. You have South America, all that stuff. I get people that watch my lives and even chat with me a little bit from Russia, you know, and I trip out because they all love low riding. I just had somebody commented on one of the videos last night before I fell asleep, and then they were from Finland, I think, and they said they love the cars and everything else like that. That you know, and I was like, hell yeah, because I know there's a lady out there that has an Impala.
What?
Yeah,
That,
there's car clubs out there, but there's one lady. She's on my Instagram, and she has a green Impala.
yeah, the Impalas are nice. One of my favorites is a 61.
Yeah,
A 59 or a 61. I've always said if I ever get a lowrider, I would be a 59 or a 61.
yeah,
Hardest
definitely.
bodies to find, but like one of the coolest to drive.
Yeah, I was showing my son that stuff. I was, that, and that's what I was doing the other day too at a show on Sunday. I was at a different show, and I had my son with me, and I'm walking around, and I'm just like, this is a 64, this is a 63, this is a 64 Superport, this is a regular 64. I'm showing him all this stuff because I'm like, okay, I got to pass this knowledge down of the cars. And don't get me wrong, I don't know what every car is, but I'm giving him the basics and trying to get him interested. And we learn all these things and we see these things, and you're either just a photographer or you're in the lifestyle. You understand the cars, you understand the concept of what everybody's trying to accomplish. And we see it as photographers because we're watching everything happen. So you
Mhm.
get all this, you're getting all this diversity, and then it's where people just think it's just one thing or it's like a little culture. It's not. It's a big culture because we're involved. We're everywhere.
I mean, when you look at it, it's a big culture, but a small world.
Oh yeah,
I mean, once you know one person, this person knows the other person. This person knows that person. This person wants to go see that person because of this.
yeah,
I mean, as far as like the model realm, I mean, like we were talking about it, but like photographers too. I see photographers like I'm even myself like
hmm,
shouting out different videographers, like letting them know that hey, this dude's dope. I mean, check out his work. I mean, seeing people. I have people just here in town like, oh, we got a video with bunch of lowriders. I'm like, that's dope. That's the homie. I mean, they're all excited about it. They're all like, they it's something that you can cherish for your life. And I will always said that with mine is that we capture one memory at a time. The
oh yeah,
memory you will live on for life. Um, and like not to talk like negative or like
mm,
way down there. But I've always told my people that I'm really really close to is that if I pass away, I don't want I don't want no celebration. I don't want none of that crap. I want people to do an art show for me, to show all my art, to
nice.
show all my work, the videos that I've done, to show the journey that I've created. I mean, because and I said, and I've even told them, I said at the end of like if it was a celebration they wanted to do, I'm like at the end of it, I want you guys to take every one of those photos and give it to everybody else so that they always have a thing to remember by. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, case in point, like you were saying with as far as like model rep, I mean, as far as like media pass, I
yeah,
mean, we don't we do this because we love it. We do this because of what we're
yeah,
doing. I mean, what's our trophy? Our media pass. We hang
yeah.
those up. We put them on a showcase or something because that's something at the end of the day that I mean, if it wasn't for media guys, it wasn't for uh, photographers,
Yeah.
videographers, people promoting that show, it wouldn't be nowhere. I mean, you look at like content creators, like I even to this day, I consider myself as just Andy. Like
Yeah,
it's not like, and they're like, oh, you're nationwide, and I said no. At the end of the day, I'm just Andy. I put
yeah,
my pant leg on the same way you do,
yep,
and like it's rewarding.
yeah,
That's where I find my enjoyment. And I've always told people when I went to an art show, they said, well, you're one of the big dogs. And I said, no. I said, let them guys shine. Let them do their thing. They want to win the trophy. Cool. Like, I don't
I've
go there because of that.
no, yeah, I know. I think I think sometimes when they say stuff like that they want to gauge us and see how arrogant we are or humble we are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they'll be like, "Oh, you're this, that, or whatever," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just a guy, doing the damn thing, And that's the thing. It's like you have to stay humble because when you become arrogant, people don't want to deal with you. And I have it's funny you were saying something about like if you were to pass away, and I have the same thing. It's like if something ever happened when my time comes, I don't want people. I have a rule since I'm a photographer. I don't want people taking pictures at my funeral. I don't
Yep.
want no pictures. I don't want no pictures there. I want you to remember it with your eyes, your mind,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want photos done. You go cruising after. Go cruising. Just pick
Yep.
a day and everybody go cruising.
Yep.
Pick one day and everybody that's ever enjoyed my videos just go cruising for me. That's all I want. That's all I want. But I don't want no one doing photos. I don't want people taking pictures of the event. I don't want none of that because I actually don't. I get asked to do a lot of funerals and I won't do it.
Yep. Because either that or like let's go cruising. I mean, or let's do a hop.
Yeah, something.
Yep. I mean, just celebrate what the life has brought,
Oh yeah,
and for like the culture of low riding. I mean, it's not just one person's deal. It's not because I can be the best. I can do this. No, it's us collectively coming together and showing each other that it's it's like
we
case
all
in
have
point,
we
like
have something to offer for every situation. You know.
talking about the art. I mean, just getting stuff like this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's it's is it easy? No, it's not. But it's what we love to do because we see the detail in it.
Yeah.
You see it from another person's eye, or you can get. What I really like is when they can just come together and just be like, "Yo, this is what's going to go on. This is
Mm,
how we're going to do it." Like
yeah.
having to start with, like like you said, getting ready. What
Yeah.
what what do we have to do? It's like, okay, well, do you show up on time?
Hmm.
Uh, is who's going to be there? What am I going to capture? And like you were like with as far as like I've always told the models is okay, so we're going to do this show, but what are we going to showcase?
Yeah.
What are you going to do so that you can see yourself shine?
Yeah.
Like I told them, I said, the first couple of times you're going to be there's a different feel to where when the camera's on you
Yeah.
to when it's off you. When it's off you, you can talk normal, but as soon as that camera goes on straight onto you,
Yep.
I mean, you and I've been in there for many a times, and it's just like, well, what do we do? What do we sit here and do this, or do we get up and go capture the moment? Because when you
Yeah.
capture the moment, it's the moment you can never, like you were saying, you'll never live. You'll never know.
Yeah.
Like what did Heel Picks put it as? You can't make money on the couch.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
You there's no way you can make money on the couch.
Oh,
You can be a
you
keyboard
do it
warrior on
right.
the
You
couch.
make money while you're sleeping, but that's the thing. You know,
Yeah.
you have to go do the effort and then you rest.
Hmm.
Effort, rest, effort, rest, effort. And like what you're saying, it's like you push yourself to do all these events. Sometimes you don't know what you're gonna get out of it. You don't understand what it's gonna bring to the table for yourself. But the thing is that your effort is what brings most of most of everything to yourself. It's
Hmm.
not everybody else. It's not if I take a picture of E40 or if I take a picture of Baby Bash, that's gonna make me blow up. If I take a picture of this model and she's almost naked with pasties on, it's gonna make me famous. That's not always how it works. You might have a popular picture and then but that doesn't mean that you can stop or that's the only pictures you can take because you're gonna gain some and lose some, and sometimes no one cares either. So I mean, we're just the photographers, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
when it comes down to it, you got to know where we're at, and it's hard. It's hard to sometimes motivate. Like for me to do even this podcast, I've been in my head for weeks trying to figure out what's gonna happen, and something happened, and I just said, you know what? That's it. I'm gonna run with this. And I started doing this stuff with the models. So now I'm working with the photographers. I I'm still contemplating on what the next series is going to be, but the content creators and everything. But we sit here and we get inspired by something. It could be positive or negative, and then you have to make the move. And that's the thing. I'm telling people. I'm telling every photographer go to King of the Streets. You can go King of the Streets in San Francisco. That's going to be a good show. A week after that, you have San Jose Impala's Magazine. They're going to do their show here at the convention center. There's going to be like 400 cars. It's all indoor. And then the next day, they're doing San Jose King of the Streets, which is another hop, and they're doing it out there by our Shark Tank, the SAP Center. And I'm plugging that all day. I'm telling people about it. People are asking me about it. We're networking. This is the thing. If I were to go back to Arizona, I'm gonna go on my own dime. But if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna be like, hey Andy, like, is this event they're having blah 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 weekend? Is this something that you've been to before? And then you're gonna tell me yes or no. And then it's the first time or something like that. So do you think what's the chatter? Like I've already asked, what have you heard about this event? And we're networking. Yeah, it's everybody's talking about it. Everybody's gonna go. Okay, boom. So now I get to book my flight. Now I'm gonna book my hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just me, but this is what most photographers and creators are doing that are covering these events. You're trying to network. Well, of course, there's other people that are in the negative they're gonna try to like not want you to my cord. I thought it was I got spider web yesterday coming into my garage, and I was like,
Oh.
my cord hit my leg. I'm like, oh, it was not spider.
You're like, oh no.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh, shit. But anyhow, the networking that we do as photographers and creators, you're gonna meet people that don't want to tell you nothing, and then you're gonna meet the people that are like, hell yeah, come through.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I appreciate with you. I've messaged you. I'm like, hey, can you give me a heads up on this or that and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, it's a good event, or yeah, it's worth it, or and so on and so forth. And then we've even like after even after Phoenix and then after Arizona Super Show, like you hit me up and you're like, yeah, it was hella hot at the hop, and you were, like you said, you were kicking it in the shade using the drone. So we do some of these back-to-back events and it burns the shit out of us, like burns us out.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because of anything negative. It's just because we're busting our ass trying to get everything done and we're not taking any breaks. And it's like it is a big thing, but I'm more like, pace yourself, or you're gonna rest during the week. Like I think, like, how do you do it? I rest during the week.
Yeah. So like Tuesday and Wednesday, I've already told my photographer, I'm like, hey, like for photographers that I work with, I'm like, hey, so Tuesday, Wednesday are my day.
Yeah.
Because Tuesday they have this little kickback Tuesday. I just go there just to chill,
Yeah.
and eat. Not doing. I told myself I don't want to do no photos. I don't want to do no videos. I do that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I mean Sunday, and then Monday I kind of just rest, and then Tuesday, and Wednesday is just kind of to recharge. And like one thing that like you and I can agree on is that, um, especially for the new photographers, I get it. You want to get out there, but don't do this because it's a trend. Don't do this
Yes.
because don't be following those trends. And number two, don't follow those clouds. You and I both went back and forth. Like, don't go following those clouds. Don't do it for likes. Don't do for any of this. There have been posts where I've gotten like 25 likes. I'm so happy about it.
Yeah.
25 people saw it.
Yeah.
Out of those 25, they're going to tell their people, and then it's just going to be this, and it's going to be that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and I've had them up to like 5,000 followers, 5,000 likes. I'm like, that's cool. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
But I love this because it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
I'm in it for life. I'm not doing this because uh, it's like you do this for me and I'll do that for you. No, it's like
Mm.
I was just listening to it yesterday. It said small people will talk about people,
Mm.
but big people talk about ideas.
Yeah.
And I didn't really think about it till now. Like the bigger and bigger you get, like when you're, I mean, I get it when you're starting out and whatnot.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I want to be better than this. I mean, I've told my photographers, I'm like, hey, I can bring you in the scene, but for whatever I do, I need you to do 5 times better. And I'm
Well,
pushing them to go further.
oh yeah, and that's where I said this in a different interview was that I've talked to people and they've surpassed me. You know what I mean? Like there's other people out there that have, more followers on their Instagram or whatever, whatever. And you talk to them behind the scenes, you give them a pointer here and there. They ask me, it's not like I just went in and, gave them my 2 cents and whatever, but I'm not gonna sit there and go, oh yeah, they're like that, they're famous because of me, or
No.
they're this model's this and that because of me. No, we all know who's what and what's what. And there's no one outshine, like basically I'm not worried about it. Like I'm all for it. If I can help the next person and they do good, so be it.
Hmm.
I'm not I'm comfortable with where I'm at. I'm
Hmm.
comfortable, and when I'm not comfortable, I do something different, and that's on me. It's on me as a person, is just being creative. If I don't feel that things are creative enough, okay, now I got to change the way I do things. And
Hmm.
that's what photography is like. Are you going to do this or are you going to do that? It's like I get to prioritize the models or the cars, the action or the car shows, the cruises or the picnics. And sometimes you got to realize you got to do a little bit of everything and
Hmm.
change. You're only going to change, so much, because there's going to be someone newer, more hungry, has a better budget or something, and they're going to come in and then they're going to, like, everybody's going to go like, wow. And you know
Hmm.
what? At the end of the day, you're gonna be like that. Now I'm inspired to do some other stuff.
Hmm.
It's like, let them do that. That's their lane, and they're bringing something new to the table, but that keeps what we do alive. It keeps what make it change the way we do things and the effort we put into things. And I
Hmm.
think that almost with anything, but people don't realize that that's how the world really works. We have to be inspired to do something different or to keep doing what we're doing. And that's the thing. It's like we want photographers are here to help inspire the next generation of lowriders and the next generation of media, because it's
Hmm.
changing always. And and that's how I see it. Like uh trying to give my son knowledge about photography, because I told him no one really gave me too much, no one really pushed me to do anything specific.
No.
And um and I'm like, you can use this however you like in many different ways, but this is something that I want to pass on to you so you have it. Whether you
Hmm.
do anything with it or not, it's okay. And I think that the newer generation, they're comfortable with their phones or whatever, and that's okay too. But just remember that people lose their phones, shit gets stolen. Your phone can only carry so much information,
Or you
and
drop your phone
you drop your phone
and then
and
go to your memories.
there goes everything. So the photos in life, these at some time can be family heirlooms. You can have a picture of a wedding or even a car, and you pass it down with the family and stuff like that. And it's more deeper than most people think. A lot of times
Hmm.
it is people thinking they're clout chasing, and there's people think they're going to be famous, or they're just trying to get into the show for free with a camera.
Hmm.
And we see that right away. So as we network and everything like that, there's the who's who and stuff like that. And working even with models, you introduced me to other models out there, and the same, I've brought models Arizona, and I've introduced you. And that's the networking that I appreciate. It's one of
Hmm.
the reasons why I asked you to be a guest on my podcast. Is you know um, it's just, there's been nothing but positive interaction, and we all have the same goals in mind with the lowrider community.
Hmm. Because I like when we see each other shine. I mean,
Mhm,
like I mean, I know you've done a podcast, but I like I would have never known who Ruthie was.
mhm,
Would have never known. And I was just like, okay. When then we did, when you were like, hey, I worked with her, I did all this and that. Like, she wants to work with new photographers. I'm like, okay, cool. And we just stepped in the light, and I was like, cool. Like, I
Yeah.
would have never known, like, to shoot with Candy and Tristan. I mean,
Yeah.
I do it, Candy and Chrome. I would have never known who she was.
Yeah.
And just, always seen her with you, and I was like, oh, that's her main photographer. And I was like, that's cool. Because,
Yeah.
and seeing that, because when I first started, and she was like, you only got 5 photos. I was like, to me, I was thinking, when I first started, I was like, okay, cool. I got 5 photos.
Yeah.
Then after the 5 photos, I did all this, and I showed her, and she's like, oh,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. Because I get it, because when you're working that much, you
Mhm.
want to see their work. You want to
Yeah.
see where they're going with this photo.
Yeah.
And there are times, like, literally, when you guys are working together, and I see her, she goes, Andy, you got 10 photos. I said, that's more than enough. I
Yeah.
take my 10 and I'm out,
Yeah.
because I'm not trying to, like we were talking about photographer and model respect. Like, there is there's enough content for everybody.
Yeah. There is.
And I mean, one of our, like, most photographers' pet peeves is for somebody to shoot right over their shoulder, like,
Yes. That-
and try to take that same exact shot and be like, well, we worked with so and so, and this is the model we brought
I paid
in.
for her. I booked her for this event. That means I paid for everything, and you're shooting over my shoulder. The only thing that they need to really do is go, is it okay for me to shoot? But the worst is when people just come right over your shoulder with a full blown camera and they start snapping away like they're Mr. Professional. And those are the ones that have to pay for them media passes. You know that.
Yeah, and they're like, you're just sitting there. You're like, man, I got to get this photo. I got to get this photo. Which is now why, like, I like my camera. Don't get me wrong, but
Mm,
I mean, if I need to post something like super quick, I'll use my phone.
yeah.
Now I know that this particular photo is going to be out there.
Mm,
Then I'll be like, okay, let me use my phone real quick.
yeah.
Let me put this footage up. Let me get everything out. Um,
Yeah. Because a lot of people want it now, so you have to cater to that. You have to
yeah,
cater to that instant gratification.
but like, if I'm what am I gonna, not when I look at my photos, like, what am I gonna do with it? Like, there's 10 different, and I've told them, I said, there's 10 different. When I first started, I was like, there's only one way. You just get this posted, printed. Now it's like, okay, so what am I going to do with this?
Yeah.
Like, am I going to print it out, or am I going to do a sticker of it? Am I going to do a mouse pad of it? Like, there's millions of different ways. And like, we were talking about it, like with the stickers and stuff like that. Never done anything like this.
Mm,
The guy showed me what it. He was like, "Hey, check this out."
yeah.
I mean, slimmer photo to whereas, like, photos like this,
Yeah.
like, for me, that's memories. For
Yeah.
me, uh, like, I've done the calendar realm,
Mm,
I've done the picture realm. Then this year, my whole thing is stickers,
yeah.
because everybody wants a sticker of somebody. Like,
Yeah. It's easier to carry.
and I've told them, I said, yeah, I've told them a lot of times, like, hey, appreciate everybody.
Yeah.
Because you were saying, um, anything happen. Anything can happen.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You could be you could be here one day.
Mm,
I mean, and then the next day it's like, what happened?
yeah.
But it's like, all in all, we're family.
Oh yeah.
We don't.
I mean, there's friendly competition, and then there's family. We see each other as, like I said, like you were saying earlier, it's going into an event and seeing people you only see at that event every year.
Hmm.
And I think when I first got started, there was a lot of people that talked about that, how certain shows are like a family reunion. because it only happens once a year, and no one comes. These people will not, outside of this car show, they're not going to travel to this state, this city, and this is the only time we get to see them, shake hands, catch up, all that stuff like that.
Hmm.
And that's sometimes I won't see a certain model all year long, and they're local, and then I go to a different state and they're right there.
Hmm.
So it is a big family thing, because we treat it as such, because there's a mutual respect.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the networking and being creative and everything is that, yeah, we have goals, and someone's either gonna shoot better than us, or they're gonna have better video, or they're gonna have a nicer camera, or they're gonna have uh more, let's say, more experienced models. No matter what, there's always something that's gonna be different with you know whatever I do or you do.
Hmm.
And but it doesn't mean anything other than we just do different things.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. That's exactly what low riding is. You have two Impalas right next to each other. They could be both jet black, but what you look for is the difference in what makes each one of them unique.
Hmm.
And stuff like that. And it could be two different car clubs, two different owners, two different, come out of two different states, and then you realize that car and that car look almost alike. So then now I want to see what the difference is. And that's what motivates us, because we realize that we're not all the same. We move differently, we do things differently, but we still appreciate everybody's work.
Yep. And one thing I like about it, and I've always like, even with like the certain person, and I mean,
Mm.
I've had numerous talks. So it's like, so like with photographers, I mean, why are we hating on each other? Like, we all do the same thing. We all push the same button, whether you have a $500 camera, whether you have a 3,000, a 10,000, $30,000 camera. We're all
Mm.
doing the same exact thing. And I've told my photographers that are here that I work with,
Mm.
let's support each other. There's too much
Yeah.
hate going on. Let's show each other that what, because we're talking about it with unity. 2024, my whole kick is unity.
Yeah.
You can't bring people together. Is it going to be easy? No, it's not. And like, I've just talking with another photographer. I'm like, hey, mending these bridges is not easy.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to almost shoot yourself in the foot, but mending these bridges is a necessity,
Yeah.
because like models,
Mm.
photographers, it promoters. What makes a show? It's not only photographers. You only had a photographer running the show, it wouldn't be a show at all.
No.
You had a model there, you'd only have one or two pictures, maybe three cars.
Mm.
It's a collective of everybody coming together.
Yeah.
Different ideas. You got vendors, you got food vendors, you got like people selling clothes, you got people selling artwork and all this other stuff.
Mhm.
That's what I really liked about low riding. The whole thing that I liked about low riding was that, because I used to be an import shooter. I used to be imports, and I was like, oh, let me go try this, let me go try that.
Okay.
Nothing against them. Nothing against them. Nothing against the culture. I mean, the culture is amazing. Their cars are dope.
Yeah.
Um, but as soon as I got into low riding, I mean, the love is real. The
Yeah.
love is like none before. You can't find that anywhere. You can go anywhere else, but when they start liking your photo, they will blast it everywhere. It goes
Yeah.
from anywhere from here to, it goes from uh, where
San
we're
Jose.
at, in
Yeah.
your house in San Jose or in
Yeah.
Phoenix, Arizona, where I'm at, on up into Japan. You're like, how did this photo go
Yeah.
that far? Or like something as simple as when we did that photo, and it just keeps circling around. Um, just something simple. It's always the simplest things that like blow up all the time.
Yeah, it when it does it, it does its, but it's on its own, and
Yeah.
like when we try to make it famous or popular, it doesn't go that way, and
Yeah.
you just gotta hope, you just gotta let it happen,
Hmm.
you know. As much as you can hashtag or whatever, there's no guarantees on anything. People will like it one day and then they forget about it the next. And that's kind of how it goes. But we have to be okay with that because you can't let it get to you. If something does, you post something and it gets 2 likes, well, post something else. Don't get like, oh, no one wants to show love. Oh, maybe they've seen it, but they don't know how to press the like button,
Yeah.
and that's with any photography. You have one person think you're amazing and someone else will be like, but that's okay. You know what I mean? Can't please everybody. And that's the thing. Across the board, we can't please everybody. And we just work to do the best that we can. And
Yep.
like I said, we just keep doing what we're doing. But we're gonna wrap this up today. I appreciate your time. Appreciate your effort.
Yeah.
And we'll see how this all goes and plays out, and we'll go to the next one. What's your next event?
My next event will be Tavares in July.
Okay.
I'm trying to save up for that, but it's going to be Tavares and then Portland.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the Las Vegas Super Show,
Mm-hmm.
just only because of the whole weekend. It's going.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean,
You can't
the
go.
whole lowrider weekend is true.
Yeah. You can't go wrong with Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm
I'm
I'm on
excited.
that trip by end of June. That's my
Yeah,
goal.
I'm excited to see what you come out with. Shout outs to you
Mhm.
because you've been putting like different people on, and it's amazing. Just seeing people shine.
Yeah.
Like I got a phone call the other day, and somebody was like, "Hey, so we did this podcast, and that's hella dope." I'm like, "That's cool. That's so cool to show everybody's story." Is like because you can be like Lowrider magazine, or you can be this, or you can be. What I really like is to see that you can be you and
Mhm.
succeed.
Mhm.
Like, do the best that you can. I've always told my models, the craziest idea, the stupidest idea always makes money.
Oh yeah. I think
Craziest idea that you might have had was like, am I going to do a podcast?
exactly. You
I
know,
mean, now look where you're at. It's doing
yeah.
amazing things for us.
Yeah. Hopefully this all works out for everybody and keep pushing. Well, until someone else tries to copy it with a better budget, but
No, right? Well, we're still to be doing the thing.
I'm still, it ain't gonna stop me from doing what I'm doing. So, and that's the whole thing. We just got to keep going. And at the end of the day, if it ain't working out, you reinvent yourself, and make decisions, make smart decisions, and don't ever let it get you down. I mean, that's it. It's just figure out what's gonna be the next move. Always
Yep.
be working towards another move. And you know, I've even said before. I mean, there's gonna be a time when I'm gonna get tired of walking around all these shows all day. But doesn't mean I'm gonna stop going and stop doing stuff. It just means I'm not gonna be running around all crazy all day. So there's
Yeah.
going to be a time, but it has nothing to do with not doing lowrider stuff. It just has to do with maybe I just won't be running around the show all day.
But
So
is it going to be anytime soon? No.
nah, hell
No.
no, hell no. I'm going to keep doing it until I can't.
Yeah. Even
Exactly.
though I can't, that's why one thing they've always asked me, why do you do this?
Mhm.
I said it's because of those little 6-year olds, those little 10-year olds, the little guys.
Oh yeah.
I said I believe in them the most because they're the ones that are going to do it when we can't do it no longer. When we
Oh,
can be like, oh yeah, we did this, and uh,
and they're going to
little
have
guy by his
technology
name,
to do it way
that,
easy.
that little kid Isaiah that you met
Mhm.
in Glendale.
Yeah.
Kid's been through so much, and I'm like, not as far as like conflict wise, but as like people are trying to. Well, some of them were trying to hate on him. I was like, no, 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 no. I said, you're gonna go where I'm at. You're gonna do this.
Wow.
I said, you're not too young, bro.
Yeah.
You. I said, there's so, but
I've been trying to get my son to do all this stuff. He had a camera when he was a little kid, and he just it's the walking around part for him that he don't like doing.
yeah,
But at you know like anything else, we're trying to set the stage for the people that want to do it, you know, and we appreciate that because we know that you have to know that you have to move forward and keep moving and move on, and and also set it up so the next person, the next generation can appreciate that because they're either going to start doing photography, then they're going to start buying cars, and then they're going to start building cars. They're going to want to learn how to work on these cars and so on and so forth, or they're just going to go with the technology side, which is the cameras and the editing and all that other stuff. One way or the other, inspire these youngsters to do something positive with whatever's going on in this world is
Mhm.
is ultimately the motivation. And we may not see it and some people don't understand it, but you know what, this is part of the way our culture works. And a lot of us didn't have that the people showing us that there's a bunch of positive stuff in what we do. So
Yeah. So,
definitely. But all right. Well, thank you once again for coming on, and I'll talk with you soon.
yep. Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem.
All right.
Pinches Lowriders.